connected to the project. So we'll start with Trey Sheldon from the Planning Department. Welcome, Trey.
Thank you.
Looks like we have Luke Herman here.
Yeah, my name's Luke Herman. I'm representing the Hamilton County Land Bank / the port.
Okay, great. Welcome.
Thank you.
And is it Tim DW?
Tim Dwyer, yeah. Tim Dwyer, I'm the applicant on behalf of the Whetsel Ave Foundation.
Okay, and Dwyer is DWEIER?
DWYER, yeah.
Got it. All right, great. Are we expecting anyone else to join us on the applicant owner side before we get started?
I think we're good.
Okay, great. I need to read through our hearing script before we begin. This will just cover the procedure for the hearing and then we'll get started. So this is the January 14th, 2026 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. Again, my name is David Sturkey. I'll be presiding over the hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20250133. That's 4819 Whetsel Avenue. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. For our purposes here today, that'll be Mr. Herman and Mr. Dwyer. I'll allow one of you or both of you to tell me about the project, what exactly it is you're proposing for the site, and the zoning relief that's required in order to complete that project, and then of course why you think that zoning relief is appropriate in this particular application. If there were anyone here from the general public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. I'll hear from the planning department and Trey Sheldon. And in the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to the application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that testimony offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. Okay. I need to swear in all of our witnesses now. So if you intend on providing any testimony here, the zoning code requires that I swear you in prior to that testimony. So I'm going to do that now collectively with everyone who intends on testifying. So if that's you, if you could please raise your right hand, I'll need you to answer out loud. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Thanks, everyone. All right. Who's going to be taking the lead here for us on the presentation for the applicant?
Trey, I imagine it'd be me, right? Do we have any documents to share, or we're just speaking about it? I know there was a submission that was made.
I mean, you can use my staff report if you want, because it summarizes it and has all the documents already, all the drawings. It's if you wish. I'm just
okay.
Yeah, and you can share any documents that you have on your computer via the share function in Zoom, or if there's a particular document you'd like to share on the screen.
As long as everyone has seen the staff report, I think that's really the only thing that matters. So the Whetsel Ave Foundation is proposing a 2-story multifamily development that consists of a total of 5 residential units. The whole idea of the Whetsel Ave Foundation is to provide housing to adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We do think that this site fits very, very well. In general, this building fits the zoning code very, very well. And in general, in the community, this use also fits the community very, very well. As everyone knows, this is also a form-based code area. So there are a couple items here of the form-based code that we had a hard time kind of getting our idea or our plan to completely conform with. And we basically started with Trey. We probably had 7 or 8 things that were on the list. And we were able to whittle it down to 2 main things. One of those is being a frontage type. There are certain frontage types that you can have, including a forecourt, a dooryard, a light well, a shop front, and a terrace. We tried our best to apply those to our site. But with it being a residential use on the bottom floor today, The building is quote unquote set up to where in the future, if a commercial space, if the people were to vacate the first story of the building, or there was an opportunity to have a commercial aspect to this, we have the 14-foot tall ceilings. We have the building right on the right-of-way line. Everything is set up very, very well for this building to potentially be converted to a commercial space. But while it exists as a residential space, we're having a hard time applying the frontage types to this type of building. And one of them is the closest that we could get to it was kind of like the shop front. But the shop front requires a huge amount of glass, and a lot of glass also means not a lot of privacy. The idea of having a shop front is being able to see into the building. Now, we don't necessarily think that's a good idea while people are living in this residential structure for people to see in. It's their private residence. So I do believe that we've done a good job of setting it up to where some of these windows and some of these solid areas can be removed if it was to ever turn into a commercial space. But for right now, one of the main things is to ask for a variance for or relief for the storefront or the frontage type of the building, which is the section 1703-3.14D. The second one that we're also requesting for is that the second story, or I guess subsequent stories beyond the first story, to be accessed from the main street. Going back to the whole idea of this building is to serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. When we started this process off, we worked with the Cincy Hat Foundation. We worked with other experts in this field. And a lot of the people who live in this house or who live in these houses, this housing development, may need extra time getting in or out of a vehicle, or may need some extra space to get in or out of a vehicle, or may need to wait outside for a vehicle. So what we did here is we created a parking lot in the back and a driveway along the sides to where if people do need that extra time, we can get them off of the main street, get them into our parking lot, and give them as much time as they could ever possibly need to be able to be picked up, dropped off, or actually to get into their own personal vehicle. But the idea is we're trying to keep them off of the main street to where they can take their time, be safe, and be able to get in and out of vehicles as they need to, which unfortunately just completely works against the form-based code of having everybody go to the front. The idea of this building is actually do the exact opposite, is to get everybody away from the street so they have the opportunity to get into their vehicles safely. So those are the two things that we're working through today. Trey, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you helping us get to where we are today. I know that the form-based code is a great starting point, but it just doesn't always fit every use. And I do believe that we've done a very good job here of following the form-based code. There's just these two items here that we're just having a very hard time being able to conform with. So that's why we're here today asking for some a variance for those two items.
Okay, great. I don't think I have any questions at this time. So Mr. Herman, I know you might have come into this a little bit late. Did you have anything that you wanted to add?
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're here to just voice our support in granting the variance so the project can move forward. We could believe the multifamily project exemplifies the type of housing solutions that Cincinnati and the connected communities legislation champions. We think Madisonville has the community-centric infrastructure and resources to support this type of development. And we believe Cincy Hat Foundation and their construction partner have the tools and experience necessary to move this project forward.
Okay, great. Thanks for your testimony. Let's move over to Trey. Trey, anything you want to add to the discussion here?
Just that oftentimes, as you are as aware as anybody in the city, it is very difficult to come through any kind of form-based code project that's not even a single family dwelling sometimes ends up needing relief. And it is, I think that the form-based code has helped in the 4 communities where it has been ordained there. I think it's helped to end up ultimately having some pretty cool design in areas that really needed to have redevelopment. But not it's a little ornery to try to fit it in, and there's almost very few projects I've had that aren't just single family that have not needed some form of relief, sometimes many forms of relief, in order to kind of shoehorn it in. Yeah, like Tim said, he and I worked together to try and make sure this met all other zoning things, even down to the fence required to the adjacent T3 transect in the back. He provided a bike, the required bike rack area, and it meets all other form-based code requirements as far as ceiling height, like he alluded to, the 14 feet. And they've got taller ceilings than you'd normally want to do here, just so that if it ever did become some kind of mixed use, that it could be easily adapted. If you see the facade drawing, you can tell that there's a window in the center of it, and it would be fairly easy to take that and expand outward, put maybe side lights and a glass door of some sort in there, and and a stoop leading out, and you'd very quickly have what would be suitable for what I mean, some kind of boutique or a little coffee shop or what have you. One of the allowable uses there. Perhaps at the beginning I should have just confirmed that maybe I'm not sure. Like I said, it's difficult to sometimes fit these things in form-based code, because you have the code in the open zone here, making it possible to have residential on the first floor, expressly without any zoning relief. And yet there are only 2 building types possible: the Main Street mixed use, and then the mid-rise. And a mid-rise would have needed all kinds of. Tim and I went through this. A mid-rise might not have had the same constraints with the as much with the frontage type, but it wouldn't fit. This is not, it's not a mid-rise that's 6 stories or 4 to 6 stories, and it would have been in there for other variances, is what I'm getting at. It would have needed variances for the lot size, and for the number of stories, and various things. So we really had to kind of make this fit, if you will, into it, given the intended purpose here. So anyhow, I appreciated Tim working with me on that to make the facade design such that it would not be uh, you know overly difficult to convert this into commercial space if ever was needed to. So you just have that kind of odd regulatory nexus, sort of having the code permit ground floor residential, but having the only rational option be Main Street mixed use building type, which requires one of these frontage types. And the other ones just simply wouldn't have worked at all, David. You're not doing a big light well here or a forecourt or any of that. It's just not, it's not, none of those are going to happen. So we settled on shop front, and that's as close as we could get to what this could be if somebody wanted to convert it. I would like to point out that they really did a tremendous job of outreach to business leaders, both the business group there in Madisonville, as well as the community council. All have provided letters, so you'll see those. I uploaded Matt Rennie, who works for the for the foundation, that will be the owner of this. He helped provide all of those. He presented at the council, and also there are letters of support from several business leaders in the area. All of them stating that they think it would be a great fit and much needed. Lastly, I'd just like to stipulate that these are pretty highly functional individuals here. So aside from maybe a ride, it depends on the individual, but these are functionally independent apartments. This is not a developmental disability dwelling. These are functional apartments for individuals, with a full kitchen and a full dwelling unit. It's five independent units. And so depending on the functionality of the people, some of them may be able to drive and carry on a job and a profession or whatnot. It's really going to depend on the individual, but other than perhaps occasional service that would be no different than a homeowner that had some sort of injury needing a a physical therapist to come in every now and then or something of that nature. I don't anticipate, based upon the way this is going to be operated and the functionality of the individuals, that there'd be a lot of coming and going or any kind of adverse effects on the neighborhood. And lastly, did connect Mr. Mr. Rennie, who's not present today, but is with the foundation since he had, and Mr. Dwyer here with the fellow who lives immediately adjacent to the rear, who would be the most affected by the parking lot. He was happy to hear there'd be a nice privacy fence putting in, and he is actually going to work with the contractor to get rid of the chain link and brush and trash and stuff that's kind of back in the back of this now currently vacant lot. So he's on board with that. So he would be the most affected party, and he was completely all about it. So, and anyhow, he's connected with them, so they'll make sure that they're able to, there's no point in having a chain link fence, partly onto his property or something if they're putting a brand new privacy fence on here, which made him happy. So I just wanted to know from that standpoint, nothing but positives that I've heard about the project.
Okay, great. Thanks, Trey. Appreciate your testimony and your work on the staff report.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll turn it back over to the applicants. Anything you want to say in response to Trey's comments or anything else in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today?
No, I mean, I completely agree with everything that Trey has said. We did reach out to the neighbor. From what we know, there are, just so everyone understands, there's a few fences back there. Whose fence is who, and just get the appropriate approvals from whoever may own those fences to take them down. For us to just go in there and start taking things down. That's why I wanted him to meet the contractor on site, just to make sure that we just don't taking down other people's fences that don't want them down. So we'd love to clean up the area. Looking forward to being great neighbors and providing housing for people who truly do need it. This is a great project to be a part of.
Okay, great. I think we can leave it at that. I've had a chance to review the application materials and the staff report. And based on that and the testimony that I've heard here today, I agree with the arguments from the applicant and the recommendation of the staff report. I think it would be impractical to strictly enforce the zoning code to this application. And so I'm going to approve the requested relief. I need to formalize that approval in a written decision. I mentioned at the beginning that typically takes about 2 weeks. I'll get that to you as quickly as I can. As soon as I finish it, I put it into a PDF and I'll email it to everybody in the hearing so you all will have it really just moments after it's complete. As soon as Trey sees that email, he'll be able to approve the zoning permitting on his end and you all can take the next steps. Any questions about that or anything else?
No, thank you everyone for your time, Trey, especially I know it's been a little bit of a doozy there in the beginning, but thank you for sticking through with us. And I think this is a great outcome. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic.
You're very welcome.
Well, good luck with the project. And
Thank you.
yeah, you'll hear from me in the next couple of weeks. Hope everyone has a great day and we're adjourned.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.